It seemed to me that right from the start, Ten Hag wanted to show you who the boss was. He dropped you, he benched you, he mucked you around, he talked about you in the press. Were you getting that feeling? I mean, did you feel that?
The feeling, he always mentioned to me that I didn't need the preseason, so I should wait for my opportunity. I really understand. Well, okay, I understand. But I'm not going to give you points, but he don't do it the same procediment to every players. I'm not going to mention players, but they don't do it the same way. Second, I understand that becoming a new job, Manchester was so bad the last 5 years that they should clean the house, let's say in that way. But the way they approach, the way the press make this so big, it's because probably the communication wasn't the best. But I really understand in the beginning, because I didn't do the preseason, I don't start to play. But going more farther than that, other things happen that they don't know. And I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship with him?
I'm not mean good relationship. The empathy is not good, let's say.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve. But it is what it is. This is why probably the game against Tottenham I left.
Well, I want to come to these two games. So against Manchester City, where United got destroyed, he didn't bring you on. He brought on other strikers, but didn't bring you on. And I felt insulted on your behalf. I was like, well, surely against Manchester City, if you're losing this badly and you've got the greatest player of all time sitting there, you at least give him some time, don't you? But he didn't. And he said afterwards the reason was he had too much respect for you. He wanted to respect you. When you heard him say that, what did you think?
Excuses. I see as excuses. I saw many things that I don't wanna criticize him. He can have different opinion than me, that they choose the players that I think is better for the team. I respect that. But the excuses all the time, the excuses have short legs. You cannot excuse all the time, which is things that don't make sense. Okay, you don't put me against Manchester City because of respect of your career, and you want to put me 3 minutes against Tottenham.
Well, that's the thing. So you then play Tottenham.
Don't make sense.
And then he wants to bring you on with 3 minutes to go, which is the complete opposite to what he said the situation was with City.
I think he did purpose. Because, for example, in the national team, the other clubs, if the coach wants to put me 5 minutes, if someone injured or if they really need me, I will help. But in that way, I felt provoked, not only because of that game, but before some.
He was deliberately provoking you.
Well, everyone know that.
Disrespecting you, you think?
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him, because he don't show me respect for me. This is why we are in that situation. I have to be honest that the things don't going well because of that, because the empathy don't exist, and he keep say things for the press, but the press say what they think it's good to protect probably him and Manchester United. But as I know, I understand many things, that he signed 3 years contract with Manchester United. Probably I'm not going to be too much long in Manchester United, apart when I'm finished my contract. I really understand, but I like guys that they don't lie, they speak honest, they be frontal, and I'm not negotiate my morals. My morals always will be intact. And what's going in my things the last 2 months was not respect in many ways, which is it. I can regret, for example, against Tottenham, to left the stadium before the finish.
Well, there's a video clip which appears to show Ten Hag telling you to get ready to come on, and you gesticulate back to him, I'm not going to do that. And as a result, you get suspended for the next couple of games, and he goes public and says it's because you refused to come on. And you did then issue a statement of some regret, saying, you're a professional, and you've never been suspended before, I don't think, in
Never.
your entire career. I mean, when you look back at that, I guess my question would be, you've always been very acutely aware of your role model status around the world. Do you wish, with hindsight, you hadn't done that and handled it a different
Probably.
way?
I regret to left the stadium.
Yeah.
But I was, as I told the Pierce before, I didn't felt that he had respect for me to put me on 3 minutes after the issues that we had before. I was very, 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 very disappointing for the communicator of Manchester United, to be honest. I never had a problem with any club, with any coach. And they suspend me 3 days, which is I felt a lot, and it was. And level of sport clubs, I felt a lot, and it was a shame.
Was it humiliating for you?
I think so, yes. I have to say the truth, what I felt. I remember I arrived. Well, I don't want to say details what he pretend to do it, but I'm not going to say that. But I remember arriving home and Cristiano see me, Daddy, you not go to the game? I said, no, because the club punished me with 3 days. And he did like, how are they going to punish you if you are the best player in the world? And you're not going to play? I said, no, I'm not going to play because I'm behave. And he looked at me like, my daddy, not behave. What? In one way, I was good because I was like more relaxed, but in the same way, I feel very disappointed because, okay, I regret, I apologize, I'm not perfect, I commit a mistake, but suspending 3 days for that, I think it's too much, and they make fire for the press, which is really disappoint me.
And that seems to have been the pattern of the way Ten Hag has wanted to treat you since he became manager. Just constant attempts to disrespect you, I guess.
Many points happen. I think in some certain points, I think was strategy from the club for me to react like that.
Because they wanted you to leave?
Probably yes.
They're trying to force you out, you think?
Yes. Not only the coach, but the other 2 or 3 guys there around the club.
At the senior executive level?
Yes, that I felt betrayed.
And you think they're trying to get rid of you?
Honestly, I shouldn't say that, I don't know, but listen, I don't care, I'm always, people should listen the truth. Yes, I feel betrayed, and I felt that some people that don't want me here, not only this year, but last year too.
They didn't want you to go there at all?
No.
Really?
No. Yes. The owners of the club, they don't.
The Glazers?
The Glazers, they don't care about the club. I mean, professional sport. As you know, Manchester is a marketing club. They will get his money from the marketing. The sports, they don't really care, in my opinion.
Do you ever talk to them, the Glazers?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Not since you've gone back?
No. They give all the power to the president, the sport directive.
A lot of Manchester United fans are very negative about the Glazers. They think they're taking all the money out and not spending enough on players, on the infrastructure issues you talked about. Do you think the fans are right?
The fans, they're always right. I think the fans should know the truth, should know that the players, we want the best for the club. I want the best of the club. This is why I'm coming to Manchester United. This is why I love this club. But you have some things inside the club which don't help to Manchester reach the top level as City, Liverpool, and even now Arsenal, for example, which is complicated. It's difficult. It's hard. In my opinion, it will be hard for Manchester to be in the top of the game the next 2-3 years if they don't change.
If the Glazers stay as owners.
I'm not mean the Glazers, but
The structure.
the structure. As Picasso say, you have to destroy it to rebuild. And if they can start from me, for me it's not a problem. I'm always gonna say I love Manchester United. I love the fans. They're always on my side. But if they want to do it different era, different generation, they have to change many, many things.
When you walked away at Spurs and didn't go on, Gary Neville said your behaviour was unacceptable, called for you to be punished. He said he knows what he's doing. He's experienced, and players of that power have a real negative impact when they do it. The influence they have on other players is really negative. And it was after that you gave them the old blank treatment, which was very funny, by the way. But for Neville to say that about you?
They don't see the big picture. Why I react like that? What's happened?
All the behind the scenes stuff.
All the behind the scenes. I was probably not provoked. They will accept to play 3 minutes after the whole situations that going through the last 2 months. Don't tell me that top players, the guys who won everything, the key players, will play 3 minutes. Come on, this isn't acceptable. After what they keep saying before, that they respect me, they do this, they do that. For me, it wasn't not respect. This is why I take this decision. I regret. I apologize to my teammates for the situation. I did a post in Instagram. I regret to left from the stadium. I regret my teammates. They know what I felt. I said to them, apologize. But in the same way, I'm not regret to take the decisions to don't coming on. I'm like that. I will be always like that. If you don't have respect for me, I'm never going to have respect for you. And the coach didn't have respect for me. So this is why the relationship, it's in that way. And he keeps saying in the press that he count with me, like me, blah, 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 blah. But it's only for the press.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
So where are you now in your head with all this? Because the World Cup is about to start. You're going to go there with Portugal, and we'll talk about that in a moment, with a very exciting team, actually. But where are you with United? They won't be playing again now until after Christmas. That leaves a few days before the January transfer window. Do you think you'll still be a United player come January 1st?
It's difficult to tell right now, Piers, because my mood is right now to the World Cup. It's probably my last World Cup, of course, my 5th World Cup. I don't know what's going to happen after the World Cup. But as I told you before, and I will say again, the fans will be always in my heart. And I hope they being in my side, even if I'm back or if I'm not back or if I stay or whatever. Nobody's perfect. Episodes in the life we all have. It's part of the human beings. It's part of me to be a human being and father as well. I always will commit mistakes, but I don't know. It's hard to tell you right now what's going to happen in the World Cup because my focus is only for the World Cup, for the Portugal